Morning, everybody. It's breakfast again with Dan and Jody. So it's Tuesday. It must be time. Today we've got breakfast sausage, a nice array of vegetables, including broccoli rabe. Try to say that 3 times fast. And the usual cast of characters, but I'm using shallots left over from our little cooking and cookbook show with the Modern Eater. So I had some shallots left over, and I always want to try to use what's on hand. We did a live broadcast with them on Saturday and cooked up some stuff from our cookbook. So always remember the thing that takes longest, cook first. That's why the quinoa is already cooked. So I've got my quinoa cooked right in the rice cooker. One of the beautiful things about quinoa, it cooks exactly the same as white rice. I mean exactly. The ratio is 2 to 1. The cooking time is 20 minutes, so it's a great grain to cook in a rice cooker. And now I've got my batch not only for today, but the next couple of days. So, off and running. Time for some sausage. Isn't it always nice and cute when your sausage comes in a restaurant? You get the cute little patties and it looks so cool. Who cares? Let's make one giant patty that we can share. It's a lot easier to negotiate too. So I'm just pulling all that out of there. And in the never-ending battle to clean as you go, I'm going to get the other half stored for the next breakfast, which will be tomorrow. And just make one patty. And remember, the thinner you make it, the quicker it cooks. So, nice and thin. And there we go. And I'm basically doing this so it's not going to touch anything else. Got my oil ready. I'm putting stuff all over the place this morning. This is my Monday, so trust me, nothing's going to go exactly according to plan. And there we go. I'm going to give that one more little flattening. And while that's cooking, let's get everything else going. By the way, I've got some healing tea on the back with some detox herbs and some fun stuff that my friend Jenna put together for me. So that's on the stove too. We'll strain that out and have some later. Let's get rid of the sausage board and start cutting. The broccoli rabe is the firmest vegetable. It's the first one to go in the pan. I'm going to cut it nice and thin. Yes, I did wash it. All my vegetables is pre-washed. And we're cooking for 2. I love the stems. Nutritional, flavorful, and just a great benefit altogether. So, and we got them cut thin, so they're going to cook quick. This goes off to the side. A little bit of shallot. Again, leftover. And that's not going to be quite enough for the both of us, so I've got another one warming up in the bullpen right here. I'm just going to take that guy, pull off the loose skin, cut a wonk, and of course save that part for tomorrow. So even when I'm cooking today, I'm planning for tomorrow. And that's part of how this works. And there's that. So, my bag of tricks, bell pepper, and for tomorrow, and a little yellow squash. So we're eating the rainbow. And with just halfway decent knife skills, I can get all my vegetables cut up while my pan's heating up. And that's just a big time saver too. A lot of times we talk about get everything ready and then start cooking. This is designed to minimize your time frame. So if you can heat the pan while you're cutting the vegetables, why not? And you'll shave about 3 or 4 minutes off your cooking time. I want to have a little fun today, so I have some fajita seasoning that I always like to keep on hand that I make myself, and I want to just change up the flavor a little bit today. So I'm going to use that. Doesn't mean I'm going without the turmeric. It still goes in. And to make things simple, what I'm going to do is put the broccoli Rabe stems in with the sausage. So they're all cooking along. There we go. My goal is always to have the vegetables be half my breakfast. All right. And always the pepper, the big reminder, pepper with your turmeric to help the absorption. And I'm just going to put a touch of granulated garlic in there too, just for flavor. And we're off. Away we cook. Today we're going to do scrambled eggs with cheese, just to change things up a little bit. So I'm going to grab a bowl. And I've got a really nice goat Gouda cheese. It's one of my favorite cheeses. So I'd probably have it for breakfast once or twice a week. Makes the best fondue ever. So I can always go and dirty another tool by grabbing a cheese grater, but I can get this cut small enough with my chef knife. To make it work. So I'm just going to cut as thin as I possibly can. That'll help it melt nicely in the eggs. There we go. Vegetables are almost done, so I'm kicking those down to a nice, really low temperature and let them just kind of finish off on their own. At which time I can throw my power greens on there. With the burner on low, that's when I like to add the power greens. And just let them kind of wilt. They do not need to really cook. They just need to get wilted. And that'll change the flavor and the texture enough to make them really enjoyable. Now, the problem a lot of people have with quinoa, quite frankly, is the size of the grain. It's a very small grain in size, much smaller than a piece of rice or anything like that. So it can be a little bit problematic to eat. So a lot of times you'll see it in some kind of a cake form, bound together. Unfortunately, too often that binder is something like honey or something sweet, which works, but doesn't really give us what we're looking for in our power breakfast. Because our goal today, of course, as always, is sustained energy. Not, oh, isn't that delicious? Give me another pancake with maple syrup. Hopefully that's the snarkiest comment I have all day. But you never know. A little salt in there, and we'll beat that up. And there we go. Nothing to it. Sausage is starting to firm, so we're getting into the home stretch, which means I better put on my glasses, right? Here, is that tender? My tenderness inspector.
Not yet.
Not yet. There you go. So we'll let those cook a little longer. And I'm going to let those greens wilt in. If you've seen this show before, you know a lot of times I'll put the flavor right into the vegetables. Some type of a little sauce, like we did Chipotle rhubarb barbecue sauce a couple weeks ago. And last week we just put some cheese right into this. And that's good. It's on ultra low temperature, which is one of the things I actually like about the stove too. That burner will go to a really low flame and just kind of hold that. So, everything's getting tender here. Finishing up. The sausage is firm. The broccoli's getting soft. Time to put my egg dish on. So what we're going to do to help quinoa be easy to eat, we're going to mix it right in with the vegetables and let the vegetables kind of hold the quinoa together. So we'll get a little bit in every bite rather than trying to chase the quinoa all over the plate because we put it on separately. So that's going to go into those at the last minute. My sausage is starting to firm up. So I want my sausage firm because when I'm scrambling eggs, everything happens fast. And then it's just getting nice and firm, which is what you want. That firmness indicates it's cooked all the way through. So that's why I'm checking. It's not soft anymore, it's starting to firm up. And that's good. So that's where I need it. Don't really want any pink in there. And time for the eggs. So, nice little wonk of butter. And let's get everything else on the plate, because as I said, at this point, everything happens fast. So, a couple hits of quinoa for both of us. Right, eh? Kind of looks like a big tabbouleh salad, doesn't it? Quinoa is one of those super grains we're all told to eat a lot of, and with good reason. And it tastes good when it's cooked right. And take my sausage out. And just throw the broccoli right in there. So we got a big stir fry. Basically what we've got. And I'll cut that sausage in half because I'm not going to eat the whole thing. And away we go. The eggs go in. Give that just a moment. Beautiful. Eating the rainbow. And those grains are going to really be easier to get with every forkful, which is of course the goal. And that pan starts cleaning up. And scramble those eggs. Now, I like to say when the shine starts to disappear, your eggs are done. I don't want them overcooked. I like them nice and soft. So you can see that shine just hanging on. And if I turn it over, you'll see the shine's gone because that's the cooked side. And I'm just looking for them right about there. Shine disappearing. There's my egg. We're going to serve them on the side today, just to be different than usual, and try to get them divided up equally. And there's our menu for today. Hands clean, everything's cooling off. See you next week. Thanks for